Kirk, what are the difficulties of actually trying to scout Albany? I know they have a couple coaches and coordinators returning, but I think, 50 different players from last year, interim head coach tag. I mean, where do you start?
Yeah, again, I think schematically, at least we think you would imagine they stay pretty consistent. And Coach Ambrose has done a really good job as an offensive coordinator. Was at Delaware at one point in his career, and just has done a really good job there. So I don't see them drifting too far. And same thing defensively. We expect similar looks that we're seeing on film. The biggest part's personnel. It's really hard because you have transition, and it's more of that now than ever before in college football. And so a lot of new faces, and we'll just have to see as we go along. You try to piece things together. They've got some new receivers in. They've had good receivers, and they got some new guys that look like they can run pretty well. But again, you're looking at film from here, there, or wherever. And a lot of it we'll learn during the game, first half of the game, I'm sure.
Hey, Kirk, Elliott Club, HawkeyeInsider.com. I wanted to ask about Mark and it being his first start, having just started to play live football again this last couple months, whatever it is. How would you define success for him specifically on Saturday?
Yeah, it's kind of like our whole football team, just hopefully hit the sort of negatives, but you don't want to do anything negative, just things are going to be really costly. But a big part of winning any sport, but certainly in football, a big part of winning is not losing. So just, taking care of your job, basically. And the difference is quarterback, he's got his hands on the ball every play. So it is a little bit different than other spots. It's a really critical position. He makes a lot of big decisions and critical decisions during the course of the game. But I think probably as much as anything, from my vantage point, would be not doing too much, trying to do too much. And I think during the course of this camp, we've seen him get more and more comfortable, and then went through a little period there where he's trying to maybe do too much and force some things, that type of deal. And he hasn't played in a while. I know he'll be excited, just like a lot of guys that haven't played in Kinnick. He has played in Kinnick, but not on our side. And so just try to relax and play your best football the way you've been coached, and look forward to seeing him play.
Ethan Meacher, Quad City Times. Long snapper wasn't listed on the depth chart. You guys have a starter there?
Yeah, Ike will be. He'll start out. Ike Speltz will be the guy. So they're both going back and forth, but it's one of the positions where it's not a clearly defined line yet.
And then you mentioned last Thursday that there was less soft tissue stuff going into camp. What do you attribute that to?
I'm not sure I know, actually, and it's a little bit ironic because we have a smaller roster, but overall our conditioning's been pretty good. I think part of it's just good fortune. I also do think every individual has some ownership in it, and you can't prevent everything, obviously, but there are a lot of things you can do for yourself as an athlete, but it takes discipline, it takes awareness, education, but the simple things that we all know we're supposed to do, like sleeping well, hydrating, eating good food, that type of deal, all that stuff factors into staying healthy. And I think maybe our guys are doing a good job of listening right now. There's always some luck involved when it comes to injuries, and certain things you just can't avoid. But I do think there's probably maybe been a little bit more awareness on the team in terms of taking care of the things they have to do on a daily basis.
Scott Dockerman with The Athletic. Kirk, I wanted to ask you kind of what your breakdown is when you look at a position like, say, left tackle, the subjective versus the objective, and how you decide ultimately who plays more or who wins that type of a job. You see every practice, you look at every single play, every single snap. How do you break that down? Is it number of blocks made? Is it his technique is better, he's more consistent with it? Is it a combination of that? And which one do you kind of skew towards if it's like, okay, we need to go in a direction here with one of these guys?
Yeah, that's really all the above. All the things you talked about factor into it, and it's ongoing too. I mentioned, pulling out the sheet I had from January, and how different that looks now, 8 months later, 8+ months, I guess. So that's part of it. Practice what we're doing. Jack Dozo, I was cherry pick him. You're talking about tackles. Had a really, I thought a good spring, and then didn't have a great end of the spring. His last out, there was, it was okay. But he's made, vast improvement. And the good news to me after I watched that tape from that last practice, most of it was just, some technique stuff that he kind of abandoned and talk about again first experience. Spring practice is not like, the place isn't sold out, but I think he had his motor run a little bit too hard, and it affected his play. So, he's really done a good job in camp, and Kids Day is the only time we've been in public, but he played a lot better than he did that last time prior to that. So it's a process you just kind of evaluate day to day, and it is fluid. And I mentioned we've got, a lot of stuff written in pencil right now. I think we listed Trevor #1, but I'll give you some inside info. Like, yesterday one guy was at #1, the other guy was at 2, and then we flip-flopped it today. And so we'll see what happens on Saturday. But yeah, we're not 100% sure on a lot of spots, but it's daily and ongoing. It will be all season too. The objective is to play well in games. So as we move forward, how you do as the games go on really is going to determine who's going to be playing. And ultimately, a player decides who's playing. That's really how it works out. And tell our guys, like, it's your job to get noticed. It's your job to earn the position, and everybody's got an opportunity. It's a great thing about this.
Chad likes to go to one register, sticking with left tackle. Do you know who's going to start, or will you tell us who's going to start on Saturday? Will it be a rotation? And maybe also, I know you've rotated guys in the past, and how does that benefit you to have that rotation so you can finally determine a guy like a James Daniels and whoever, you know what I mean? You've rotated guys in the past.
I think, as I stand here right now, whatever time it is on probably about 2 o'clock right on Tuesday, we'll start Trevor, but Jack's going to play. I'm sure he'll play him, and because it is that close, and I think they both have earned it. They both have done a good job. Sometimes it's because you don't have one, and you got to play two. But I think we have 2 guys that are really have made significant ground and gained significant ground. So then we'll just keep playing, and if it ends up that we got 6, 7 guys that can play starting level football on the line, we'll play them all. No question about it. Usually you don't have that. But if we do, we'll play them, and that'd be a good thing. And we got some guys that are really close, so it's going to be fun to see how it develops here.
Hey, Kirk, Tom Kinker, Hawkeye Report. Wanted to ask you if you've made any decisions on true freshmen playing that you think are going to get out there on Saturday, and maybe some clarity on the running back position. You got 4 guys listed in the 2 deeps. How do you manage that situation?
So freshman-wise, not a lot of guys, although that's, again, as we stand here right now, still in August. So we'll see. Nathan McNeil's probably the only guy that, we'll green light him this week and see what happens. Good news is, again, we got 4 games to play with, so that's always a good thing. But I think we have enough other guys that have risen, maybe where it's going to be tough for a first-year guy to play. There are a couple of guys that have a chance, and we'll see what happens, see how things pan out. So yeah, we'll see, but just play it that one by year, week by week. And we really haven't been playing that many freshmen at the end of the day, the last couple of years. And then the running back position is clearly cloudy, and part of that was we did have some soft tissue issues with one of our guys, and then another guy had a different injury, so they missed some significant time. So the picture's not real clear right now. But I think the guys we've got listed, plus maybe another 1 or 2, they've all done a good job in practice when they've been in there. Kamari's probably the most game ready, based on experience, and TJ's right behind him, TJ Washington, and Jazz has played. So I think we've got a good grip on those guys, see where they go, and I think Xavier, the other guy we listed, yeah, he's really done well, starting back last August, but he's improved with every phase. Did all season long last year, and he's been really good in the spring, really solid this camp. That, again, first time in a game, you just worry about ball security, all those kinds of things. It could be, see what happens. But yeah, we'll see how it all plays out.